Hello everyone, welcome back to the Kriya Yoga online channel. My name is Ryan Kurzak. I've been working pretty hard on the latest Kriya Yoga book, where we will be going over the Kriya Yoga techniques, which are on this channel, a few advanced techniques, the higher tiers that you learn in further initiations. So I'm almost done with that. Hopefully it'll be fully edited and ready to go by spring of 2016. That's the goal anyway. So I'm happy to announce that. So please stay tuned to this channel or my astralvedicastrology.com blog for more information on that when it finally does become available. Now, for November, that's the topic today, the particular practice that we have. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, we are moving into winter, closer to winter. And this is an excellent time to consciously choose to go within. And by go within, that's a cliched statement that a lot of people use. But what I mean is to withdraw your attention from external things that might just be distracting for you. Now, we are an individualized aspect of this greater consciousness, so we do have things that we need to do in the world and express. But it can be very helpful to every now and then, once a month or 1 month out of the year, to consciously decide to lessen your social involvements, to lessen your time on the computer or with media, Facebook, all these sorts of things, to lessen anything that you do to distract yourself from your spiritual practice, or anything you do to distract yourself from the capacity to simply sit quietly and be with life, what is happening naturally. So for November, consider the past year and consider the things that you do on a regular basis. Do you like to go out every Friday night, to dinner or whatever it might be? Do you have particular social engagements that you do with your friends on a weekly basis? How much time do you spend on the computer or watching TV? Just take note of that. Think about that for the next couple days. And then make it a practice that for this month, you're going to do 2 to 3 things less than you normally would. Meaning maybe you're not going to go out on Friday nights for the month of November. Maybe you're going to stay home. Maybe you're going to read. Maybe you're going to meditate. Maybe you're just going to take a bath and relax. Think about the time that you spend on the computer, or the time that you spend checking your phone, or whatever it might be. And again, I'm probably speaking more towards a modernized audience here with this. But consider that, and then decide that you're going to do that only a certain time during the day. Maybe only an hour in the morning are you going to look at the computer, read articles on the computer, or do Facebook, only for an hour. And hopefully you don't do it that long anyway, but let's say an hour if you do it a lot, or just 15 minutes. But pick a time where you can be focused on answering your emails, on taking care of things on the internet, online, and just do it during that particular period of time. Think about your social engagements when people invite you out. Maybe decide for the month of November that you're not going to accept so many. You're just not, and they don't have to pry. You can just say, I'm focusing on something else, or I'm taking some time off. I'm doing some inner rejuvenation, if you want to use some good words there. But think about these things. And what you'll find is probably, if you're not already relatively internalized, that this kind of bothers you a little bit. Because now, what do? You were so easily defined by what you read on Facebook, or getting that email that you were waiting for, or looking forward to spending time with your friends. And these are all normal, healthy things, at least in regards to social interactions. But what you'll realize is that you invested a lot of your identity and a lot of your self-esteem and a lot of your good feelings by relating to others, or by getting that stimulation from others. So it's going to force you to have to figure out, well, how can I relax into myself? How can I be comfortable and confident in who I am just by being at home or walking in nature or reading, not having to be bombarded by all these distractions. And at first it'll be difficult, usually. But what you'll find is, if you can stick with it for a few days, it actually becomes extremely enjoyable. It's very similar to someone who likes sweets, and maybe they decide to go on a very strict diet where all they're eating is fresh vegetables and no processed sugars or grains or whatever it might be. And at first they have a lot of these cravings, like I need a cookie or pancakes or whatever it might be. I need something sweet. But after they do it for a couple weeks, then it just becomes natural. They don't even want those things that they craved. So this is not necessarily an easy thing, although it might be for some people. But what it's pointing out to you is where you might have dependence on external stimulation, either from others or machines or any other kind of distraction that you might have. And this will teach you how to be more comfortable in your own space, in your own silence. And it'll allow you to go deeper into your meditation because you'll realize you don't need all of these distractions. So for the month of November, take some time to consider your normal social engagements and ask yourself, what boundaries can I set to where I'm not going to engage in those things so much for the month of November? Think about the things that you regularly do or commit to that take you out of the home or you really look forward to. And again, you don't quit this forever, it's just for November. And decide that for this month you're not going to do it. You're going to do something different, something quiet, something internal, something reflective. Think about the time you spend with social media or chatting with people or whatever it might be. And decide that you're only going to do that for a certain period of time throughout the day. It means you're not going to look at your phone all day. You're not going to check Facebook all day. You're not going to get in your email, at random times when you're bored. If you're bored, you're just going to sit with the boredom and explore the silence underneath that boredom. And it might be uncomfortable at first, but it actually becomes very comfortable because once you get beyond that initial addiction or breaking that addiction to stimulation, you start to have the strength that, wow, I don't need these distractions. I am perfectly content in myself. Now that might make some other people nervous around you because now you're going to be content in yourself and they're going to wonder why you're not being dramatic or talking all the time or responding to their emails immediately. They're going to think something's wrong. But that's okay because, again, you're gaining more internal strength. You're learning to see what is beneath all of the distractions that typically fill your life. And I think you'll find it to be very rejuvenating, peaceful, clarifying, and in the end, very strengthening for your consciousness and your connection or realization of your connection to your source, God, divinity, however you want to look at it. So consider this, put it into play, be gentle with yourself, but be firm in your discipline. Be firm. Whatever you decide, stick with it. Don't give up just because it gets a little difficult after a few days, because that's just part of the process, part of the struggle of the detox. So, it's easy to look at someone who's addicted to drugs or alcohol and say, oh, they're just going through detox, deal with it. Well, you're addicted to some things too. It might not be drugs, but usually it's some form of stimulation. And this will lead into our next month, December, where the focus will be on silence, and a very basic practice for you to undertake. So for now, the focus is on going within, staying calm, letting go of distractions, and learning to find the peace that is underneath all of that. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll be in touch in December. Peace.